Hey everyone, welcome to Pimperville 2 Gaming. I was checking my broadcast settings. The last time I did a broadcast, I realized that my audio is not coming through, and there's like a separate, broadcast link to have your microphone muted or not, whether you have it on your controller and broadcast settings. So I guess that was part of a new update. But anyway, today we are actually going to be looking at the world of Subnautica. So the story behind that, and I will be kind of going over some slight spoilers, and we are going to be going towards the end of the game later on. So just kind of a warning to those that maybe want to play this on their own and experience the story for themselves. But here we are. I built this habitat, and I'll kind of show you right where I'm looking at right now. That's my original life pod. That's where you start the game out at. And we have crash landed on an alien planet. So we are part of the Altera Corporation, and a lot of cool bits of the story. So inside of here, I just kind of want to show this off. I'm actually in that process. You have what's called a habitat builder tool, and I'm in the process of building this. I just don't have enough enameled glass. You have to have actually one of the specific sharks called a stalker. You have to have their teeth in order to make enameled glass, and they're kind of hard to find. So you kind of have to spend some time farming those, and just haven't had the will to really finish this, so it looks kind of cool right now, just half built. So built an aquarium. You can actually pick up fish. It's kind of, I have to laugh because it's like you pick up fish, and I'm assuming you just put them in your pocket, and then you can put them in the aquarium later per the game. But bed. Sleeping actually really doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you like any special perks or anything like that, but it can make the day-night cycle kind of pass. So with that, this is what's called an alien containment center, and you can actually grow your own plants. So I'm actually growing those mushrooms right there in front of you. You actually need those for certain items that you need to make later on. And then that is actually a lava lizard that I hatched. You can actually get these creature eggs, put them in there, and then usually about 20 minutes in the game time, they will actually hatch. So I'll show you that actually in a second. Let's go upstairs. These are all the different lockers that I have. So a lot like Minecraft, if you ever played that, you'll end up with like 100 different chests full of just, iron and gold and all that kind of stuff. This is the fabricator. I actually built a new one inside of here. This is everything in here has actually been built, like I said. So you have your basic materials, and you'll kind of, build upon some of that stuff and make more and more advanced materials, tools, so forth. So you actually have to make every single one of these. You start out with basically nothing in the game. So the repair tool you'll need to repair your own life pod so that your radio works and all that kind of stuff. Which brings me over here to the radio. So every once in a while you get a transmission, either a lost lifeboat. There's actually some alien transmissions. You're actually kind of seeing what went wrong in the game as far as why you crash landed here and kind of some weird things. So battery charger is kind of useful as well because all of your tools use batteries. You can see at the very bottom of my screen these 4 tools, power 27% and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of nice. You don't have to actually build new batteries. You can actually swap out the batteries and charge them, which is kind of nice. Advanced modification station, you can actually take some of your weapons. So, for example, the survival blade, you can actually turn it into a thermal blade, which does a little more damage. And then you can actually make these depth modules, which I actually did yesterday for my prawn suit, which I'll show you actually in a little bit too. It increases the depth. So, and that's a picture of what the prawn suit is. I found these posters actually inside of the Aurora, which I will also show here in just a second. So the Aurora over there is actually the ship that crashed on this planet. So a lot of life pods ejected from this, scattered kind of all over. We were on board, and that's where our life pod happened to land here. Some of them are a couple thousand meters away, some of the other life pods. Going around here, this is one of probably the last vehicles you'll make in the game. This is the Cyclops. I like it, but I also don't like it. So it's really, really cool. It's got sonar. It's got all kinds of cool stuff. I don't like it because a lot of cave systems have a lot of small openings, and you can't really fit the Cyclops inside and really maneuver around a lot. So it's neat. You can actually bring another vehicle with you, like the Seamoth or the prawn suit. But like I said, kind of neat. So the Neptune rocket, I was actually able to finish. This was a beast of a thing to create. I actually had to build the platform. Then I had to build this crane up here, which is another part of it. Then I had to build the bottom rockets. There's a middle part. I can't remember exactly what that was. And then the crew module on the very, very top. So it was in stages, and finally completed that. The final trophy, which hopefully I can get today, I don't know, is basically launching that Neptune rocket and getting out of here. So I've actually been able to do that. This is my prawn suit down here. It actually has a little bit of storage in the back for you to kind of put some extra things. It's got 2 power cells on it, and then you can actually access your upgrades. And what I actually did was I swapped out, I have the grappling arm, which we're going to need for the final part, and then I upgraded the depth module. So standard depth module on this is 900 meters. You upgrade it to the first part, it goes to 1,300 meters, and finally 1,700 meters. So the place we're going to is almost 1,500 meters deep. So, and then lastly, here is the Seamoth over here.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
It's kind of neat. This is kind of really your first, if I can climb the ladder here, this is your first real vehicle for exploration. Now, unfortunately, the dive depth initially is only 200 meters, and then you can upgrade it. Finally, it'll go a max of 900 meters. And I kind of have to laugh about the game because I can get out of my Seamoth and actually swim around deeper than 900 meters, and it doesn't crush me, but yet it crushes that vehicle. So, and this is, of course, the Pimpy Jr. I named it over here. Pimpy Jr. is docked and fully charged. So, so that's pretty much up with my base. It's kind of neat. We're going to get to see basically the route I'm going to go. It's really, really neat. I'm going to be able to kind of show you a lot of different things of the base. There's actually a stalker right there. That's actually the tooth I was talking about earlier that you need to get for the enameled glass. Also, really quick, I do want to show there is some things that should have been the data download, I believe. Terminal data, yeah. Okay, so we are infected with a disease called the Cara, and it is a bacterial infection that basically latches on and actually causes mutation in your cells. And the local alien life, which you don't really get to see, it seems like they've died out, and you're actually going through and kind of picking up where they left off, so to speak. And you're kind of touring their abandoned facilities and things like that, but their facilities are still online. And actually you see some of your crew dying because they go to land and they've been scanned and found out that they have the virus as well, so they're not allowed to land or leave. This whole planet's basically on lockdown quarantine. And so you're trying to just kind of see what you can do to solve this, basically cure yourself. That's basically the point. So you can get off this planet, because there's a defense system that's still active and you can't leave, so until that's active. So makes me wonder though, because a lot of the transmissions that you get make it seem like the aliens are still here, because one of the transmissions I got are basically turn mode into hunted mode, and there's only one remaining. And I wonder if that was meaning another part of the crew. They think there's only one person remaining to their way of disinfecting, which is killing them. I don't know. But so we're going through the kelp biome. There's a couple of different biomes that are very, very unique in this game, and they basically make a circle. They're not overly large biomes by any means, but there's another crashed life pod. There's life pod 3 there on my left. And I have a camera icon over here. So what I did was I built a scanner room. In a scanner room, you can basically send out drones. They're kind of limited range. I don't actually use them a whole heck of a lot. They're good for if you kind of want to explore the area a little bit. It kind of shows a topographical map. But overall, I didn't find them super, super useful. But they can be used as beacons, so you can kind of know where you're going. So I'm heading to an island right now. It's one of the very few places where you can go on land, and there's an alien facility there, and that is actually what I'll kind of explain that more when we get there. It'll make a lot more sense, but that's the first alien facility that you'll kind of encounter. So now this kelp right here is kind of nice. You can actually use that to make some fiber mesh. You can actually make some, you also need some lubricant to make some of the parts in this game as well. And the top part that's actually yellow will make that lubricant, and then the actual creep vine will actually make the fibers. So it's kind of definitely a useful kind of plants in the very, very beginning. So kind of the schools of fish over here. And we are almost onto the island over here, and that is the very first alien facility that we will tour in the game as well. And inside it's kind of neat. So inside there's a lot of things that you can actually scan. So let me go ahead and kind of just show you. There's a scanner tool here. There's some actually crabs. They will actually hurt you. They are not very friendly. So I might get in my prawn suit actually really quick. But use that scanner tool and you can actually pick up on the local life. So you can actually get new blueprints. You can get a lot of different things. Data, you can kind of learn more about the local life forms and things like that. So this normally would have opened up and asked for a purple tablet. So you have different tablets in the game. So I have a blue tablet, which is basically the latest one in the game that you'll need. There's also an orange one and a purple tablet. And that actually lowers a force field that is down here originally. And this actually turned into a gun and moved and actually shot down an incoming spacecraft when it was coming in, because it actually noticed that it was infected with that Cara bacteria. So pretty neat little facility, got to be honest. You can't go in these separate facilities for some reason. Maybe they're like the actual power for it or whatever. I know that when I scanned one of these arms one time that are hanging off of it, if I can find the claw, that's actually a warper, by the way. They're really nasty. They can actually get you out of your vehicle, warp you out, and then they do a lot of damage and can like try to eat you. So found this other gate. So we're going to go to another gate that looks just like this. And it looks a lot like the Stargate, and it'll kind of have that very signature look. Have you ever seen that movie, but like a warp gate? And normally there's something in here that you put an ion cube in and it activates it. However, for this one, I don't know if this is supposed to purposely not be active or whatever it is, but that one I haven't been able to figure out. But the other one in here that we're going to go to in just a second is active. I was actually able to activate it from the what's called inactive lava zone. So, all right, let's go ahead and inside of these alien facilities, I think we'll pass a couple of different, so inside of here, this would have been something that we could have scanned. And this is actually one of the alien rifles, and get some data on it. And sometimes it gives you new blueprints for things to build. Sometimes it's just little lore items that you can read more about. And this is the active warp zone right here. So when you go through this, we're actually going to be able to save a lot of time. I didn't have to go through the Lost River. I didn't have to go through a lot of those. It would have been kind of cool, I guess, for the video, because the Lost River is kind of cool. It's got like these literal waterfalls underneath of the ground of sulfur. It's definitely really neat. I may actually make another video just to go through there and show that. But so I don't have my drill arm attached, but if I did, I could have mined this ion cube. But I did bring one with me just in case I needed it. And I think, let me make sure, I think I still have, I have 2 more in storage, so I'm not really worried about it. Really, you typically only will need one of them. But so this is one of the most terrifying areas of the game. And these are the arms that I was talking about earlier that seem to have some kind of power. That's how they actually, one, hold it into place, and then actually have some power properties to them as well. And there's a terrifying creature. It's absolutely huge. It's actually called a Leviathan. There's one of the few places that you can get individual. It's called kyanite, which you need later in the game as well. You can actually hear that roar right now. I mean, it's just terrifying. So, all right, let me remember where I had to go to get out of here. And I think it's one of these. It might be over here. Yeah, it's over here. That's the lava lizard from my alien containment center that I have. Actually, no, this is not it, is it? And they will attack you. So in my alien containment center, I don't know if it's just because it's a smaller version, you know, like a younger, just hatched version of it or whatever, but yeah, they won't, they tend to not really mess with you too much. you have to wait for your jets to kind of actually cool down, so to speak. This is what I'm looking for. These are the creature eggs that I was talking about earlier. You can actually pick those up and then hatch different creatures. And the creature eggs are different, and they will hatch different creatures. So it's kind of cool. And then up here, we're actually going to go straight up after this. So. And then this, these pillars right over here is actually kind of a telltale sign that you're getting ready to go to an alien facility. So once you kind of see these, you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to go into an alien facility. And then we're actually going to be going down. But first, we're going to go ahead and see there's a warper. There's a pretty harmless stingray right there. And then we're going to wait because it'll be flying around. This thing is absolutely enormous. You basically cannot miss it. Maybe I'll fly a little bit to the middle because I think we got to go there anyway. So. It's really neat, the background on this creature, once we're able to see it, if it decides to fly around. Normally it's like right over here. The background on that creature, though, is really interesting. They basically say that huge creatures, at least of this size, typically are very few in number. And they actually think, when you scan it, they actually think that this may be on the brink of extinction or one of a very few. There it is right there. So it kind of crashed. There it is. Oh, it's like I went. It's kind of glitching through the wall. It looked like. Let me see. Let's see if we get a better look at that. I don't know. Every other video I've made, it just came right on. Right out in the open, but this one is deciding to be shy. You can tell this one right here has that bacteria infection. It's got the green spores on it. It's kind of neat. You'll actually see a couple of the life forms around here that have that bacteria infection. It's kind of just neat to know that it's definitely out there. So another lava lizard over there. I'm actually curious. I'm going to try to scan. I hate doing this because I hate getting out of my vehicle. I might make a save just in case I I die, but I'm going to go ahead and try to scan this. I'm just curious to see if an infected one is any different. So it's maybe really stupid. I may die. Who knows? But that's what saves are for, right? Like I said, you can actually get out of your suit and just kind of swim around, and as long as you have an attachment called the rebreather, it's just kind of interesting. Yeah, so nothing else to scan on that guy. Let's hurry back to my prawn suit here so I can get back to safety. I'm so disappointed. I don't know why normally he's like that huge. It's called a dragon leviathan. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the not by the looks of it, but just the name. You know, the Mass Effect 3 at the very end, you can actually, part of the DLC, you can actually recruit those towards your war effort. And they are massive creatures as well. So, well, I guess in the meantime, without being able to see that, there is let me see if I can find in here. And it should be under... sea dragon. So that's what it looks like. It's just really cool to see it in action, but it's basically a huge specimen. It's 112 meters in length. So you basically times that by 3. So over 300 feet in length. I mean, that's absolutely insane. It's got heat-proof tissue, so it can live in the environment down here. One of the largest on this planet, which is 4546b as they call it in here. And then this is kind of neat. I was talking about that earlier. So due to the restrictions, population numbers are definitely very small because there's not enough room for a whole bunch of these things to survive. So, and then actually one of the alien, you'll actually find an egg. They actually have one of the eggs. The aliens have actually captured one of the eggs, and they've sterilized it, as weird as it is, and it's actually hermetically sealed. So, sorry I was not able to show you that in action. Normally, like I said, he's flying around, or she. I don't know if it's a male or female, but yeah. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go. This is actually what's considered the inactive lava zone, if that's not terrifying to you. And right now, we're actually going to go to what's called the inactive. Or I'm sorry, we're in the inactive. We're going to go to the active. So, and what we're looking for is basically just a hole in the lava. This is actually one area to get into it. And we're going to enter the active lava zone. Now your suit can take damage, so you need to have what's called the grappling arm. And actually I'm going to go ahead and get out really quickly and repair this. I am going to take a little bit of damage, but it's going to be worth it for me to repair. So there's the alien.
I am what you seek. Want to help you.
So it makes me, I'm kind of curious. It seems like throughout this game that the aliens are dead and they're kind of talking to me more telepathically is what it seems like. And this lady, it seems to be the same lady over and over again. It's a female voice every time that they come as a vision. So I'm not really sure. If they are, in fact, instinct. I don't know if they're just kind of talking to me, like I said, telepathically. It makes me wonder with the broadcasts that I've seen if they are. So there's our final, I don't know what you call it, resting point. So, oh, there's the sea dragon right there, actually. Okay. Wow. He spits fire, by the way, out of his mouth, and it is pretty terrifying. You can take a lot of damage to your prawn suit, so... as I just did. I got to make that reset, and let's hurry up and go into this final facility. Now, I have actually never been in here yet. I kind of knew where to go, so kind of interesting. I'll get another look at that. I'll turn around really quick after I can get in here into safety, but there he is in his glory. I mean, this thing is massive. Kind of looks like a mix between a squid. It's kind of cool because in here the fish can't even get to you. It's like this little force field. So, but yeah, just a massive creature. Really cool. And it's kind of neat. Yeah, we're inside of the active lava zone. I believe that's actually kyanite there. You can drill it out. Obviously, I don't think I would spend too much time if I didn't have to. So at this point, we're going to go ahead. This is what I was talking about earlier, where you insert a tablet based on the color. This particular one is the blue one, which we found in the facility that I just showed you, where we just were in the inactive lava zone. That's actually where I got that tablet from. So with that, the force field will disappear. Oh, wow. It's like welcoming me. I believe I still have enough of the ion cubes, so I don't think I'll need to do that. So vaccine development program terminated, huh?
Hatching project terminated. Live specimens terminated. Evacuate immediately.
Well, that's interesting. So this is the final facility, like I said here. You have to watch out. For some reason, these spider drones can do a little bit of damage. I've actually only seen them in these two underground. So the thermal plant, there's some. The other alien facilities did not seem to have these. So this is kind of a neat feature in this game. So you can see that icon popping up in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen when there's something that's able to be scanned. So let's go ahead and see what this is. This looks like it could be an egg. Oh, building block, okay. Crescent artifact. Is it a boomerang? An alien boomerang. Oh, it's a tracking implant. Unusual box. I like that. Organic matter Oh, empty case. Why are we scanning this? That's interesting. Nanobots. Huh. Oh, we can... Oh, I wonder if that'll help us translate, because some of the alien language is actually broken. You can't understand some of it. And I wonder if that'll kind of help bridge that gap. One of the devices that you actually find earlier in the game is actually a doomsday device. It's almost like a bomb. And it kind of looks like, if you ever played the game Destiny, Ancient Earthblade. I wonder why they would have that here. That's interesting. But it makes it seem like it never went off, obviously. It's in one of these actually same kind of cases. And just kind of interesting. It basically said, good thing they never used it, but basically they were preparing for it. So influenced by ancient Chinese architect. This is really, really interesting. Seems like they've actually either studied or obviously influenced some of their culture based on ours. Huh. That's kind of interesting that they mention religious, because when you first go to one of those warp gates, they're unpowered. And there's 3 theories in your scanner log that basically it could be for ceremonial purposes. It could be for, I can't remember the second one, and then the last one is for navigation. And of course that it ends up being for navigation purposes. So I think that is everything. Oh, one more tablet. So up here, this is actually a data terminal. So you can actually access these on your own ship in the Aurora, but the aliens also have data terminals as well that you can download. So Enzyme 42, I bet you this is probably something that was basically the cure for the Kara vaccine. It looks like that had been unsuccessful, unfortunately. Looks like we have some more stuff that we can scan in here. I don't know if something used to be in there, but... Oh, wow. Oh, I wonder if this is... this is either a sea dragon or the actual alien, maybe? Oh, this is the... Okay, that's the sea dragon, and that's that sea emperor, I think, yeah. The alien and another facility that you go to, it's nothing but creatures from the sea that you kind of encounter. It has warpers, it has all kinds of stuff. So they were definitely like kind of a full-on scale trying to get this thing cured. Preserved egg, that might be the same thing with the emperor egg. Yep, sea emperor egg. So I found another one that actually was still sealed. So some more about the story there. And there's took a little bit. I didn't mean to walk off that cliff like that, but let's see. We need another tablet. I really hope I brought the right one. Ooh, we need another blue one, but I don't have another blue one. Hopefully there's another one inside of here, so... whenever you scan those tablets later on, you can actually build them. You can build a fabricator, and then you can actually build more of those tablets. But I have a feeling that there's going to be another one in here. So here's another warp gate. And we, again, you can actually insert the ion cube. I wonder if this is the one that goes underwater that I was talking about earlier. I would be very curious. I'm not going to go through that just yet. I'm going to continue exploring in here, but that's nice to know. It would be nice, and then I can actually just warp right in here if I needed to make another tablet. It would save me so much time, because this is kind of a pain to get into, to be honest. Oh, wow. We have a lot of things in here. Okay, biological archive. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Oh, wow. There's just pretty much every kind of creature egg. in here. I don't know what that is. Another data terminal. So they were doing a lot of research specifically on this sea emperor for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, that actually. So this thing actually makes the enzyme 42 within its stomach, and it was actually found to actually neutralize the effects of the bacteria. Huh. Okay. So they were doing some heavy research. Because it looks like they actually may have held the cure. That was actually the egg that I found earlier. It's a hermetically sealed. The one I found was actually sealed. That's actually not the egg. It's actually been sealed by the aliens, and then they actually sterilized it on top of it. So these different creature eggs. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Doesn't seem like anything else I can scan. It's just a collection of all the different eggs. The one thing I guess I could look into, I don't know if you can actually grow your own warper in that alien containment. That'd be kind of wild. I might try that later. I've hatched a couple of different ones. There's a trophy for what's called a cuttlefish. And there's only 5 of them found in the game. There's only 5 eggs. So let's see. We've got 3 more rooms to explore over here. And then if not, I'm going to have to go through that warp gate to get another blue tablet. I had actually debated on it. I was like, I wonder if I should make each one of the tablet. And as funny as it is, I made a purple tablet kind of in anticipation. I wasn't really sure what to bring. Oh, here's another ion cube, actually. Wow, another warp gate. Okay. I'm going to have to grab the ion cubes out of my prawn suit, actually. I forgot to do that. And you know what? I'm just going to grab both just in case. So let's go ahead and activate this other one. Now I'm curious, now that there's 2 of them, I'm really curious where this other one goes. Because they would have to go to different places, I would imagine. So, and again, I'm not going to go through this one just yet. Let's finish exploring this place, and we'll kind of see where these other things go. Kind of odd. I'm guessing the aliens knew how to take out the cubes, obviously, and then they would deactivate those gates, or maybe the gates only lasted so long, and those ion cubes are kind of batteries, and the batteries kind of disappear. Wow, this is wow. Maybe this is how they captured some of these fish to study. Enzyme host. So they were doing some heavy research on that enzyme 42 because none of the that's a peeper fish, as they call it. Actually, none of them actually showed any signs of it either. So they were pretty dedicated to that research. And then they enter into here. Oh, so they were actually showing signs. So I think what they were doing is actually studying. So what they did is they brought those fish in from the from the basically way farther up from the surface, and then exposed them to that enzyme 42, and it looks like it actually cured them on the way out. So go ahead and get this data. So ventilation control. And then we can actually go down a little further on this one. And almost looks like the same room, but just, oh, they're shooting these fish all the way back up. That's kind of funny, so. Doesn't seem like there's anything of any importance in this room. Maybe I can scan this. I don't know. Nope. Okay. I feel that there's got to be a tablet. If not, I'm I'm guessing they made it easier to come back into this facility by having those warp gates, so we'll see. It's not huge. Not a huge inconvenience, I guess. If I had to get all the way out of the lava zone, I'd be like, oh my gosh. Like, and this should be the last room, I believe, in here. And I'm wondering that force field area in there, I'm wondering if I get exposed to enzyme 42 in there, and then I'm actually considered cured. This is crazy. Okay, another ion cube. So there's 3 different places that this goes. Well, time to see where these go. Yeah, these, I don't know, they're like just worker drones when I scanned them. That's what the data suggests on them, and they just kind of chill. So, looks like I brought just enough ion cubes, so I don't actually need to... Oh, actually an ion cube fabricator. That's kind of cool. Probably can't be... I probably won't be able to build that. This device... Oh, and limitless source of... Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Well, I will choose... Let's go to the last one that we just activated, I guess. You can actually see on the top of my screen there, right there. So I have the compass, and I have 1432. We're kind of slightly going up, obviously, and that's actually the depth that we currently are. And then the 1700 in gold is actually the max depth that the suit allows for. So originally I had 1300 feet, and I had to actually upgrade that to the MK2. And usually just requires the original chip, and then you go to that fabricator modification. So this is actually, I believe, on those islands that I was just at. It's just a different location, yep. That is really interesting. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've actually been in here. Oh, this is the underwater cave, I bet. I never bothered exploring it. Oh, that's funny. We're in the mushroom biome right now, so it's kind of cool. I get to kind of show that off right now. Let me see how far... Oh, we're pretty far from that island then, so that was actually not one of the areas, so... But I'll kind of go through these different biomes on our way back, and then I'm hoping... I'm going to kind of go over here, and I'm going to see if that water biome is now open, that warp gate I was talking about. Some of these you can actually activate, and then it takes you to another place. Some of them you actually have to activate it from the other side, so to speak. So that's kind of the case probably with this one, where I had to activate it from the other side. These are kind of really neat. A lot of like almost bioluminescent kind of creatures in this area, in the mushroom area. Actually, when you get down to the Lost River area, there's actually some creatures that'll actually, they're like bioluminescent sharks, and they're very kind of terrifying. So this, I already have the blueprint. That'll kind of show you what you can do to scan to get more parts. But once you have enough of the, once you have all of the blueprints and you still find that stuff, it actually gives you titanium, which is actually, they consider that the basic building block in this game. So. We got a, I think that's either a bone or a sand shark. I can't remember what exactly that was. And there's some wreckages of different ships that have actually landed in here. It's kind of neat. Usually you find a lot of, there's actually an access point around back. And you can find a lot of your blueprints and things like that. Quartz right there for making glass. And then a lot of things that you'll find in the world is actually through these either sandstone or limestone outcrops. And this is kind of where you find a lot of your resources here. So you have your mushrooms, you can kind of pick up a lot of those. These actually, when I scanned them, suggested that these floating rocks actually used to be above the surface of the water. So actually at one point, I guess these rocks actually literally just kind of sat there and floated above water. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of... And I can't remember which, that might be the bone shark right there, I think. This over here, this biome is kind of interesting. So this is actually basically being held up by jellyfish underneath. So it's kind of an interesting. So camera. I'm trying to find my camera so I can get my bearing, basically. If we go all the way down, I guess, since I'm already falling anyway, we will end up in the, I don't even know what that actually, the official name of that biome is, but it is all basically bioluminescent creatures. And even there's it's like a bunch of bulbs, I guess, kind of like a tree bulb. I don't know what you would call them, but, and then they basically light up the area. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back up. So on the right-hand side, my prawn suit only has so much kind of energy to get a boost. But I might be able to climb this. I think I'm right here. Yeah, I'm actually right here at the alien facility. So I want to see. Oh, okay, I'll be able to get up here now. Okay, just got to go around. I'm like climbing this wall. It's kind of funny. All right, let's see. Hopefully I can make it up quite a bit of ways. There we go. So there's an underground cave there as well that you can kind of explore. A couple different ones, actually. So usually within those caves... oh, there's a tablet in there. It's not the one I needed, but it is a tablet nonetheless. So purple tablet. Oh, warper. Oh boy. Yeah, they can actually get you out of your suit. It's very, very terrifying. So, like I said, normally they tend to show up right around these alien facilities for some reason. It's kind of awkward and really weird. Okay, let me see where I'm at. So it should be down here. Okay, so hope this is where I was thinking it was. If not, did not look like it did open up, so that's not the one I thought it was. So, well, shoot. Well, I guess what I'm going to do is I'll kind of do some off-screen stuff. I'll go back to my base. I'll make a blue tablet. I'm going to make another video of kind of the final ending, I think. That way I'm not wasting time going all the way back and forth. But appreciate everyone for watching so far, and then we'll kind of make a part 2 of this and go from there. Thanks.